say this is because Chris Brown and Quavo.
Yeah.
Now, for those who've been hiding under a rock, Chris Brown and Quavo have been going at it. Chris Brown first dropped his diss record. I think it was on Saturday during the day, I want to say. It's called Weakest Link. And we'll give our thoughts about that. Then afterwards, like 2 days later, Quavo drops his, and I think it's called Over Some Hoes or something like that. So anyway, man, like that's another reason. This right here, I'm not gonna lie, CJ, these two diss records sound better than the Drake diss records that came out.
Nah, they sound more salacious than the Drake record.
Well, see, that's what PM said. No, but listen, man,
they do.
Listen, Chris Brown. First of all,
they're more spicy, bro. That's it. They're just more spicy. The tea is hotter. That's all.
What? No. I'm telling you. Listen, when Drake dropped Push-Ups.
Yeah,
I was expecting more. I was like I told you, I was expecting more of a Duppy freestyle. I wasn't trying to hear a back to back. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, it's cool. It's not bad, but
right.
It didn't hit me like damn. Like back to back. When I heard it, I said, okay, salaciously is weak, but back to back, it was catchy
for sure.
Push-Ups wasn't really, like it just felt like Drake said, okay, shit, I'm gonna try to squeeze in some salacious shit with making a hit. Chris Brown came out from the gate. It reminded me of Hit 'Em Up. And Quavo came back with a catchy song that I hadn't heard some shit like that in a minute. So that's what I'm saying. The salacious, I agree that does have some stuff to do with it, but the Quavo beat was dope. Chris Brown's beat was dope, and then the way they were rapping, and it's because it's real beef. Drake and Kendrick do not have real beef with each other. They just are doing it just for the love of the art. So that Drake Push-Up shit, nobody even talking about that right now.
I mean, it's like you said, it's getting convoluted. We've had 7 diss records come out since then. Some AI and some real, some we don't know yet. So that has muddied the waters of this whole situation. Now, with that being said, let's take it back though. We forget these aren't the only 2 songs that they've come out with. This has all happened within like a month time.
True.
Chris Brown came out with the Freak remix or whatever the case it may be. That's when he dissed Quavo initially. Quavo responded in about 48 hours to that. Then we got the Weakest Link. Then we got the Overholes and whatever it's called. So then we got a nice little 2-round, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sleeping on that. That is true.
Yeah. So I mean, but to be fair, the Chris Brown shit was hard, and it means a little bit more because they really don't like each other, and we all know why. So it does hit a little bit more. It hit hard. Pac shit was hard, but it really hit because we knew he had animosity with Big, or at least we believed that he did. So that helped with this. The Chris Brown shit, I'm a firm believer of Chris Brown never rapping ever in life.
Me too.
I really wish he would have never picked up the rap book. He should have just stayed in the Michael Jackson lane,
right?
In my opinion. With that being said, he was slide on that bitch though. Like he snapped on it. Like I can't front.
Let me tell you something, man. When I heard it, because that's what I was telling you. I don't look at Chris Brown as a rapper. Never liked his rapping at all. But when I heard this record, I said,
went hard.
Damn. Now I'm not saying I want a Chris Brown rap album. Some people will go and take it overboard. I'm not saying I want a Chris Brown rap album.
No.
What I am saying is that when you're talking about diss records, these are the diss records I'm used to. Maybe because my rappers that have had the best diss tracks of all time, they had real beef with each other.
Right.
Ice Cube had real beef with NWA. Eazy-E had real beef with Dr. Dre. That's how Real Motherfucking G's came out.
Nas and
Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Ja Rule and 50. We got Clap Back, we got Back Down, and several mixtape diss records. You know what I'm saying? Wangsta. Oh my God. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm used to Hit 'Em Up. Pac had beef, even though some people say that he made that shit up to sell records, whatever the case may be. Regardless, that's what I'm used to hearing. This Drake shit is relatively new. That back-to-back making a hit record shit, that's relatively new. Either happened to be a hit just off the strength of the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not used to, that's why me and PM were saying back-to-back, like, what is it? We're used to No Vaseline. We're used to all that. So what I'm saying is that this Chris Brown diss record was reminiscent of that. I got that Tupac energy. I said, damn, from start to finish.
I agree.
It was so hard. I didn't think that. I was like, Quavo, ain't no way he could come back to this because, for one, it's an R&B nigga doing this.
Yeah, true.
And for two, Quavo ain't even that type of rapper. Now, this is all predetermined. Like, this is before I even knew what was going to happen next. So I'm over here like, damn, he crushed him. I'm talking about, he talked about, nigga, I sit next to your lame ass, but I ain't want to mess up the bag. You know, the whole Sweetie line, that was clever as hell. He said, revenge is
For sure.
sweet. Don't let that go over your head. I said, damn, like that. Everything. I was blown the fuck away from this. I was shocked, surprised, anything. The beat was hard, and overall, CJ, it was a real good song.
Yeah, it was.
It was on repeat. So I said, damn. And it made me forget about the Drake and Kendrick thing until, you know what happened? Drake had just dropped the AI track.
Yeah, it was the same day.
The same. Well, no, it was that night before. No, it was the same day. No,
Same
you're
day.
right. You're right. It's just that we got it a little late because they're on the west. Chris Brown's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the same day, and I was just like, damn. So CJ, I was thinking like, man, like that's one of the best diss records I've heard in recent memory. Like, do you think that it's reminiscent of Hit 'Em Up and No Vaseline and all that?
Yeah, well, we're not finna put it. Well, let's be time out now. Let's not get. You got the 93 octane BP shit on there, pouring on it. I'm not putting it in the same classes. It's the same energy as those for sure. Yeah. But he did his thing, and I think it's because we underestimate him because he is Chris Brown, and you know we know how talented he is as a vocalist and a dancer and all of that. So you wouldn't have expected it,
right?
So there's an element of that. But I think it played to his favor with him dropping that the same day that Drake dropped his, because that's a different type of energy, and more people are attracted to this type of energy, this Cat Williams energy that Chris Brown was on, than they are with the Drake way of beefing. Although I will say, if you go and listen to something like a Duppy freestyle, that's not no hit 'em up vibe, but that shit is hard though.
It was hard. That's what I'm saying.
But it's tough.
But Drake really had issues with Pusha T. Kendrick didn't make Drake mad enough. Like Drake really ain't even mad at Kendrick, to be honest. Like it's just a nigga that was talking shit, came out of nowhere. How do I respond? So that's why I'm saying those tracks that he's throwing out really ain't groundbreaking. They're trolling material, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, after Chris Brown's record, like I told you, I ain't think it could happen. Boy, CJ, was I wrong? Quavo dropped yesterday.
Yeah, it's hard,
bro. I was like, dang. So he resurrected Takeoff. Takeoff came. When I heard the beat drop. Well, first of all, let's give credit. It was a nice little intro. He said,
that was basically
hard. You messed up, fucked up your own bag with the Rihanna thing. See, the thing about these records is they're spitting facts. About each other. Chris Brown did fuck up his bag with Rihanna for life. Now, of course, he's still rich. He's still
he good.
His thing. Still good, but he did fuck up some shit, right? So that came in the beat drop, and then I heard Takeoff. I said, "What the?" And it was going, and you know how you just like, nah, this nigga ain't finna come with it. But Quavo went with it. Now he did have a corny bar in it. He said, "Light skin versus brown skin, dividing the country." You heard that line?
That wasn't it.
That was cheesy. That wasn't it. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna give him a break. But throughout the whole thing, he's like, nigga, you fighting over bitch? Like this is what it's over. You crackhead Michael Jackson, you better beat it, nigga. I said, woo.
Well, hold on. We ain't finna act like that was gas too, though. Like, let's relax. That was slow. It was in pocket,
bro. But it was funny though.
Okay, it was funny.
It was entertaining. That shit was funny. He called him a crack because crackhead Michael Jackson better beat it. It was the energy how he said better beat it, nigga. Come on, CJ. That it was entertaining. That shit was hilarious, bro.
I'll say this. I did like the line about the stomp the yard though.
Oh man,
I did like that though. That was tough. And I didn't know him and Frank Ocean that got into it before. So that was new to me. People
you didn't know
like that's just old. I was like, I ain't know that shit.
Oh yeah. Him and Frank Ocean had got into it. That was funny when he brought that shit up. Yeah. Him and Frank Ocean, they had got into it back in the day. He said, Frank, whoop your ass, some shit like that. But man, when I tell you from start to finish, it was dope and it was catchy. You could bump that in the ride. Now, listen, I was talking to PM earlier today. Because I said that this went harder than Drake's diss. He said, man, you don't like Migos like that. I said, what you mean? He was like, you don't like, he said, name me the songs. I named Fight Night. I was going through naming all of them. But he said, I ain't never heard you talk about them like that. I said, when we started doing Res View, that was the year after they dropped Culture One. I haven't liked the Migos song since 2017. I like the exception.
Wow.
the hotel lobby. I like that
Oh
one.
yeah, that was hard.
That was hard.
But that was the two though. That wasn't even
Yeah,
really
just
unique.
two, right? But I'm
Yeah.
just saying with Migos in general, I haven't liked anything since then. Like I like Clout, but as far as Migos the group. But anyway, despite
Yeah.
that, this is the hardest song that I've heard from them, whether dead or alive, in a minute. Now, do you think that it was corny for him to bring Takeoff, the resurrecting Takeoff at all?
I don't think so. I thought it was, man. Look, and we'll get to this because I'm sure we're gonna talk about whether the use of another feature was corny or not. But I think especially when it comes to beef, man, you got to do something different, bro. You have to pull out you got to pull out the big guns, bro. Like, so whether that's fuck with Dre Day, where you got AJ Johnson playing Easy E looking goofy and silly and shit. Whether it's that, or whether it's rest in peace Dolph. He had the Yo Gotti lookalike in his shit with the big ass forehead and shit. Like you have to do. It's got to be entertaining. It's got to be something different. It's got to be somewhat unpredictable. And I don't think anybody had the Takeoff feature coming soon, but it played off of what Chris Brown said about So no, I don't think that's corny to me. And the hook slick fit it like it kind of sounded like he was going
at Chris Brown. That it was dope as hell to me, because he already talked about the Takeoff line. Like he said, they wished it was you that was dead instead of him, which a lot of people felt like it was below the belt. But guess what? This is beef. Beef records, that's what you do. You go below the barrier. You know what I'm saying? You go below the belt. You do in the illegal moves. That's what's compelling.
Yeah.
To come on a record and say that's why I fucked your bitch, fuck your wife.
Yeah,
that it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's supposed to sting, bro. It's like a comedian. It's like a comedian, a controversial comedian. They toe the line, and you're supposed to be like, oh shit, am I supposed to laugh? Like it's funny as hell, but like, oh shit, I ain't really supposed to laugh at that.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, bro. We've seen this time and time again. Even with the Pusha T talked about 40 in his condition.
Exactly.
40 don't even rap, bro. Like, but it's like, nigga, nobody's off limits, bro.
Nobody, bro. Your mama on the respirator ain't off limits. Your cousin who got cancer, you know what I'm saying? Your mentally challenged little brother, whatever it is, they gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Now you can bring morals up in this stuff all day, but man, and when you're talking about beef, that is what I'm used to hearing. Forget all that. That's what it's always been about. Beefing in rap is about truth, and then the other stuff is about roasting.
Yeah.
And then it's about being as disrespectful as you can. Those three things will help you win. You're supposed to say the most disrespectful thing, not unless y'all sparring or something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
that's why Crow got out of it though. He didn't want to go that far.
There you go. He was like, I know where I could go. I'm not there mentally. I don't want that.
And I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I'm not interested. This ain't my lane. This ain't what I got in the rap for. Let me go do my cold shit, which is respectable. But as Kanye said, fuck all that weak ass shit. We're gonna get to that in a little bit too. But yeah, but all together, who do you think had the better diss track out of Quavo and Chris Brown?
Oh, it was the Chris Brown one. But with that being said, I thought neither one of Quavo's was a slouch though, and nobody pins him as a. You don't want to get into it with Quavo. Like nobody really. Who expected him to even respond to the initial joint? Nobody. Much less come with a second one and have a little bit of creativity in it with the Takeoff bar. So he held his own. He made it respectable, but the Chris Brown was just too impactful.
Yeah. Now this is the thing. I give the edge to Chris Brown for sure.
Yeah.
But all of y'all who acting like Quavo shit was poo or it was trash or whatever, that's cap. Yeah. You're showing favoritism.
Yeah,
you are showing favoritism, and that ain't what I'm here for. Like, because folks were telling me, well, what you mean that Quavo's is? I'm like, no, you went to it listening to not like it. Right. I'm not gonna do that with these records. I hate doing that. If I'm judging off the contesting, I'm listening to everything, and that shit was hard. It ain't to me. They had like a 12-round bout, and Chris Brown won
for sure.
They went 12 rounds. It wasn't like because Chris Brown already said
blowout.
It wasn't no blowout. It wasn't no knockout. Quavo held his own, and y'all got to stop capping on that. For real.
Yeah, I think since people heard it and didn't like it as much as Chris Brown's, then it automatically gets thrown into the garbage or mid or you know how.
Yeah,
you got to go extreme.
Yeah, nah, Quavo had us on. Anywho, shout out to you, bro. You said Quavo's song was fire. It was, bro. I just saw a lot of people in the comments like showing favoritism and trying to act like it wasn't hard. Get out of here, man. Oh, he lame. He had to go get Takeoff. Man, shut up, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
get out of here.
He
Get out
had
of
to
here.
go get.
No, it's like it went with it. He probably had that track around. Oh, pussy nigga, I could put that shit on. This nigga want to go there and bring up my dead nephew. Bet. You know what I'm saying? Now, only thing I saw this earlier when he said, I'm still mad about I want to find the nigga that killed Takeoff or whatever like that. They were like, nigga, he was right in front of you. What do you mean?
Right, yeah, that's true.
That was like, you were right there in front. I got confused by that. I'm like, what you mean? You know who killed him, but
Yeah,
you know, that's neither here nor there.
right.
But speaking of Chris